Fireside Chat with the President. Really appreciate you coming out and watching this. I know it's a wet and dreary Friday, but it's going to be the weekend, and you know, a wet weekend is still the weekend, right? So I hope you get out there and enjoy it. But before that, again, appreciate you coming out and joining me on this video. So we got a lot to do, so let's get at it. All right, a few quick SMEEA housekeeping items. Let's bang these out real quick. One, the SMEEA store is closed. It was open for a while. We're selling a bunch of stuff, and now it's closed. If you have any questions about the SMEEA store, please get a hold of Marissa Feely. She is our SMEEA second vice president, and she is in charge of the SMEEA online store. The second housekeeping item is a transfer fair. All right, yesterday was a transfer fair. I got to see a lot of members, which was awesome. We haven't had an in-person transfer fair in a little while, so it was great to see that event come back. For those of you who didn't go, transfer fair is essentially like speed dating for jobs, where you go from table to table. We're having these really brief interactions with site administrators at sites that you have an interest in, vacancies that are open there. If you didn't get a chance to participate in the transfer fair, but you still want to interact with the site, get to know the principal a little bit, please feel free to reach out to those folks, make an appointment, go down and have a chat with them, or talk to any district-wide members that you know who work at those sites to get an idea of what it's like working there. And the third housekeeping item is the scholarship. So yesterday, you should have received an email with the SMEEA member scholarships and the SMEEA student scholarships, information and links to both of those. So they were sent yesterday in an email. We will push that email out a couple more times just for those of you who maybe misplaced it or accidentally deleted it. And that way we can push it back to the top of your email box. So the SMEEA scholarship documents did already go out. All the deadlines, everything you need to know is in that email, along with links to the applications. Officers elections. We have just completed another round of officers elections, and all of your current officers, me, Jose Segura, your president, Kristen Lohr, your first vice president, Marissa Feely, second vice president, Jose Rodriguez, third vice president, Yvonne Duran, our secretary, and Allison Alpa, treasurer, have all been reelected. We all ran basically unopposed. There were a few write-in candidates, but for the most part, they were unopposed elections. All those results should have been sent to you if you voted. If you didn't vote, go back to the email this video was attached to, and you'll see the actual certified results from that election. So you've reelected all of your current officers to run for or to sit for another 2 years, another term, and so we're super excited, very humbled, and just very thrilled to be able to continue to serve all the members of SMEEA. So thank you. Organizational design. Now this is something that I brought to you all a while back. If you go back to the email this video was attached to, you'll see the graphic that kind of looks like this graphic right here, and it gives you an idea of what we're looking at for a future organizational design. The whole goal behind this is to expand leadership, to make leadership more diverse, more inclusive, and we were hoping to move towards that, closer to that. And that's why you'll see things like directors as well as officers in this design. This design has been introduced to your rep council, but it hasn't officially been brought forward as an agendized item to be discussed and to move towards approval. That will all change at our March rep council meeting. This item will be on the agenda as a discussion item. It'll be there for a first reading. The process is to have a first reading at one meeting, to have a second reading at a second meeting, opportunities for discussion at both of those, and of course opportunities to have conversations with folks at your site in between those meetings. First reading is going to happen here in March. Second reading will happen at our April rep council meeting, and that'll be the first opportunity that your site reps will have to somebody to make a motion to approve this redesign. If it does get approved, or once it's approved, then it'll be up to your executive board officers to decide when and how we're going to implement this. We want to make sure that the organizational design has been approved first before we start talking about how we're going to implement it. The CALM app. For those of you who don't know, CTA, as a benefit to all members, has secured free access, free full access to the CALM app. For those of you who have never used it or don't know much about it, it's this really amazing app that allows you to tailor interactions with it in a way that best suits your needs. You need assisted sleeping, you need a meditation, whatever it is you need, it's all in this app. And one of the really great things about this, not only is it available to all of us as CTA members, but it's also available to up to 5 family members for each one of you CTA members. You can have your whole family on this app, which is really awesome. Again, it's absolutely free. There's no charge, and it's not a sample, a subscription, or a partial subscription. It's a full subscription to the CALM app. So go back to the email that this video is attached to. You'll see links that'll take you where you need to go in order to get yourself all signed up and registered, create your own account, sign up your family members, and get yourself going with the CALM app. Negotiations Joint Communicate. Earlier today, you should have received in district email the Negotiations Joint Communicate. It came to you all through district email because it is sent out as a joint communique, so we want to make sure that every member gets it. But we also want to go out to all the site administrators and district administrators as well. And so this is going to be the first of a series of joint communiques that will provide you all with updates as well as links to tentative agreements so that you can stay abreast of what's happening at the negotiation table. If you don't see something in any one of these updates, that means it hasn't happened yet. So we're not, hiding anything. We're not keeping anything from anybody. We're not waiting to surprise you at the end. As we get through tentative agreements, which means we've actually agreed to language at the table, we've pulled away from the table, we've drafted it out so that we know what it's going to look like in contract language, we bring it back to the bargaining table, we all agree that that's the thing that we tentatively agree to, and then at that point we can sign off on it as a tentative agreement. And then that's when we'll share it out to all of you, all right? So we will continue to have these joint communiques as they become necessary and available. So again, the first of several. New Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources. It's been a rough year. We haven't had a full-time Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources this whole year. As you all know, Bijou Beltran left us at the beginning of the year. She went out on leave and then eventually separated from the district. And so the district brought in Dr. Cameron, who was a former ASHR for the district, and then just recently brought back Dr. Grady, who many of you know as the former ASHR here in the San Bernardino School District, to fill in until a permanent replacement can be found. Well, a permanent replacement has been found. His name is Pete Bland. He comes to us from the Saugus Union School District. And if you go back to the email this video is attached to, you'll see a link to his LinkedIn account. So you can take a look at his bio there. You can also take a look at the district in which he is coming to us from. We're really looking forward to having Mr. Bland here. We don't know when he's going to start, but we do know that the board has already approved his hiring and he's accepted the position. So we're excited to have somebody come in, a full-time Assistant Superintendent of HR, get things back on track, get the ball rolling, and get us moving forward in a way that makes sense and it benefits our district and all the folks who work in it. So welcome, Mr. Bland. We're looking forward to having you here. And as his actual installation as the ASHR takes place, we will let you all know. CTA Staff Change. For those of you who don't know, all of the local associations that are affiliated with the California Teachers Association have a CTA staff or a CTA Uniserve director assigned to them. And our CTA Uniserve person is really our connection not only to CTA and NEA and all the services and supports that are available, but they help us on a regular basis to do the kind of work that we need to do in order to support all of our members. They're just a wealth of information. They're an amazing resource, and we're very fortunate to have really great folks who work as CTA staff. Well, we have had the same CTA Uniserve staff for the last 14 years. His name is Andrew Oman. And just this month, Andrew moved on to another assignment. So we wish him all the best of luck in his new endeavor, but that left us without a CTA Uniserve. And so what CTA has done is they've assigned us a temporary person. His name is Arlie Kidd. Mr. Kidd is actually a retired CTA Uniserve, but he comes back and does this kind of fill-in work from time to time. He's a super experienced guy. We're really excited to have him. He's going to help us until CTA can find a permanent replacement for Andrew. They're already in the process of doing the interviews and combing through all that. Any candidate that's going to be recommended for the position needs to be approved by the CTA board, and so those meetings occur a little later this month. So we're really hoping that a candidate does go forward to the board, that they approve it, and that way we can get somebody here on a permanent basis and get us as an organization where we need to be. We really do rely on our CTA staff. They are a super valuable resource to our local association, so we're looking forward to whoever that next CTA staff person is. All right, folks, that's all I have for you today. Hey, have a great weekend. I know it's going to be gray. I know it's going to be rainy, but again, it's still the weekend. So enjoy it. Take some time to do things that bring you joy. Download that CALM app and start using that. I got to tell you, it's an amazing app. It really just there's a lot of different ways where it can just bring you some peace, can bring you a little bit of calmness in your life, and allow you to kind of make it over those rough humps that we all are experiencing from time to time. So have a great weekend. We'll talk to you all soon.